Let's have some fun in this video. I'm going to share some of my potentially cringe-worthy vinyl guilty pleasures, and I hope you'll decide to join in the fun adding your guilty pleasures to the comment section below. Hey, what's up? I'm Jason, and this channel is for vinyl lovers who want to find something new to listen to, purchase, or avoid. I focus on vinyl, but everyone is welcome. Let's jump right in. The first potentially cringe-worthy guilty pleasure on my list is Christmas music. I love Christmas music. I love Christmas. I love the holidays. My favorite holiday used to be Halloween, but it's changed in recent years. Now I'm all in on Christmas, and there's some amazing Christmas records starting right here with the Beach Boys. This is a phenomenal record just in and of itself. You could listen to this thing all year around and I would not hate you. I mean, that's what I do, but I'm also the kind of person who watches Hallmark Christmas movies all year round, so take that with a grain of salt.
See, Cassie, I didn't just fall in love with your writing. I fell in love with you.
I knew it!
I love you, Cassie Winslet, and I hope that you love me back.
But this is the Beach Boys Christmas album, and it has more than just standards. This album has 5 original tunes by the Beach Boys. Each and every one is incredible. It's surprising just how good the original tunes on this record are. I think my favorites are The Man with All the Toys and Merry Christmas Baby. I just love this record. This is Elvis's Christmas record. You know it. You love it. It's Elvis. It's Christmas. You are a Scrooge if you don't like this album. Again, another record that I can just listen to all year round. Listen, Santa never looked so good as he did on the cover of this Christmas Party by the Boston Pops. I love this record. It's traditional Christmas music done very well. This is, orchestra music. And it's a great Christmas album just to kind of mix into your festivities during the holiday season. I love this, the RCA stereo band at the top here. Just so cool. And again, how can you go wrong with this cover? Next up, we got a jolly Christmas, Frank Sinatra. I mean, it's Frank Sinatra and just really great tunes here. This is Frankie singing the standards. You got to mix this in on the turntable during the holiday season. It's Frankie, it's Christmas, enough said. Next up is the sentimental sound of Jackie Gleason. You know him and love him from Honeymooners fame as Ralph Cramden.
Bang zoom.
But some of us know him as the band leader of the Jackie Gleason Orchestra, and this is Merry Christmas. He really brings a sentimental tone to his music, which I just love. So when you're sitting by the fireplace, decorating the tree, you could do a lot worse than Jackie's Merry Christmas. And here's another one to show off by Jackie Gleason. This includes the previous album, plus another album of Christmas tunes. And again, Santa is looking good. And last but not least, check this out. This is Muzak, M-U-Z-A-K. This is the stuff that old people like me would have heard in shopping malls, banks, grocery stores, and elevators back in the day, where they would just play this stuff over the intercom endlessly. And this is the Christmas version of that. And I mean, it's pretty cool. This music is actually called Stimulus Progression, and I'm gonna do a video on it just because I think it's so fascinating. So last on my Christmas list, Muzak. So my second guilty pleasure is something that, again, takes me back to my youth, and I just love this stuff. I'm talking about 80s soundtracks, and Tron is one of my favorites. This is Wendy Carlos's all-original score for the film Tron. It's super cool. I love the movie. I love the soundtrack. Tron. Next, we got Schwarzenegger's Raw Deal, and this is just so cool. This is early 80s movie soundtrack, electronic goodness. At the time, we probably didn't think anything of it, and then there was probably a couple decades where we thought, oh my God, this stuff is garbage. But now I think we've come full circle. I mean, at least I've come full circle. And I think this stuff is nostalgic and fun to listen to. And Raw Deal is actually a really good way to go back to these early 80s soundtrack days. Maybe the most popular and well-known of that kind of thing is Escape from New York, directed by John Carpenter. And John Carpenter actually did the soundtrack to the movie, believe it or not. and it's just super fun. I mean, again, it just takes you back to those early 80s action adventure film, electronic soundtracks. It's a guilty pleasure. I'm not afraid to say it. And then real quick, if 80s soundtracks aren't cringe enough, how about the dialogue from the film on these records? This is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones is all over the news right now, and whether you love it or hate it, you can't go wrong with Indy. If you don't like the new movie, go back and watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, or you can just listen to the record and imagine you're watching the film. And then when you're done with that, you can go back and watch Star Wars again, dialogue and music from the film, the way we used to have to do it back in the day, before Disney Plus. Don't judge. I feel you judging me. All right, let's close out 80s soundtracks with a 70s soundtrack. For Star Wars, I had this thing when I was 5 years old. I would play this on my $2 Fisher-Price turntable endlessly and just relive the film. The reason you can't find one of these in decent condition is because of me and other kids like me. All right, next on my list of potentially cringeworthy vinyl guilty pleasures is Big... All right, next on the list of potentially cringeworthy vinyl guilty pleasures is big band music. I love jazz, but for me, it all started with the big bands. And I mean, it literally did start with the big bands. And I love the radio transcripts that would come out by a lot of these groups. This is one of them. This is Broadway Gala, Duke Ellington. Great cover, great music, and I just love it. And then here's the best of Duke Ellington. A small group that I've shown on this channel before is Nat King Cole Trio. I love the trio. This is the Capitol Masters, and this is a great place to start with some of that old trio stuff if you want to hear it. Next up, the man himself. This is the guy that started it all. We would not have bebop without him. Of course, I'm talking about Dizzy Gillespie, and a couple of great records here. This is Groovin' High and One Bass Hit. Just great stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Another guy who, I don't know, maybe his name doesn't get mentioned as much as the others, and I put this guy up there with my favorites of all time, Cab Calloway. And this one is Get With It with that phenomenal cover. His bands are second to none. The energy of Cab Calloway's music is just awesome. He is so much more than just the guy that showed up in the Blues Brothers. You gotta check it out. He's unbelievable. This is Minnie the Moocher, probably his most famous song, and this is just a great record. Okay, next up, a singing group that is probably one of the first records that I ever heard in my entire life. This is the Ink Spots. This is the original Ink Spots album, which has all the original recordings. And of course, you got Someone's Rockin' My Dream Boat, made famous by Bugs Bunny.
We were sailing along, peaceful and calm. Suddenly something went wrong.
I just love this stuff. I think probably a lot of kids were introduced to stuff like this from the old Looney Tunes cartoons. And of course, I have to show the late, great Count Basie Band. Again, these radio transcripts, here's two of them. Both, I think, from 1937. This one is at the Savoy or the Savoy, and this one is at the Chatterbox. These are both great albums. If you like this stuff, a lot of this stuff is easy to find, very affordable, and just really cool stuff. Of course, Charlie Christian, you gotta have Charlie Christian. Early guitar player. He didn't record that much, but this is Solo Flight. This is the one you have to have. If you only have one record by Charlie Christian, get Solo Flight. And another singing group, the Andrews Sisters. I love the Andrews Sisters. You've heard their stuff. Beat Me Daddy, A to the Bar, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Boogie Woogie Bugle, the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. And of course, Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree with anyone else but me. I mean, this is the Warriors. This music was just really fun and swinging, and I love the Andrews Sisters. Last but not least, really one of the guys that started it all, does not get enough credit. It's Fletcher Henderson, who takes us all the way back to the beginning and wrote some of the biggest songs of the big band era. And I mean, again, music, especially jazz music, would not be the same if we did not have these guys. This is the one to get. This is a study in frustration. Awesome record, box set, Fletcher Henderson. All right, so one more guilty pleasure category. It probably isn't a guilty pleasure, I don't know, but it's something that I've sort of discovered more recently. I love these records. I've been collecting them for a little bit now, and these are 10-inch records. And I love these things, man. I mean, these 10-inch records are relatively affordable. I know some are very collectible, but there's quite a bit of 10-inch vinyl out there. I think mostly you're gonna find jazz, big band stuff, orchestral stuff, you know, stuff that was popular during the 40s and the 50s. But here we got Dizzy Gillespie again. Just a great record. Some of his best tunes are on here. Got a couple of Count Basie. Just really fun 10-inch stuff. Frank Sinatra. I mean, these things are so cool. They're like fun size, you know? You get about 6 or 8 tunes on these generally, but sometimes that's all you need. They have great alternate covers that you probably haven't seen unless you collect these. This is a great one, Jazz at Oberlin, Dave Brubeck Band. Really, really cool. It's just a really great record. It comes with this really cool red translucent vinyl. And hopefully you stuck around long enough to see this one. This is Miles Davis, Volume 2. A really great record. It came out on Blue Note. And so yeah, that's it, 10-inch records. These things are really fun. They're bite-sized, you know? Sometimes that's all you need. That's all I got today, guys. You tell me, was this really cringe-worthy? I mean, listening to Christmas music all year long? I don't know, that's pretty bad. But I'd love to hear what your cringe-worthy guilty pleasures are. Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.